Après avoir perdu son père, mort il y a 10 ans dans un accident sur un chantier près de Dakar, Monsieur Samba a dû abandonner l'école, laisser sa mère et ses 2 sœurs pour venir en France et subvenir aux besoins de sa famille.
Passe le bonjour à tout le monde et puis tu leur dis que je vais bien. Avec mon copain. Oh, qu'est-ce que tu fous?
C'est quoi votre nom?
Samba Sy, c'est Samba, comme la danse. J'avais fait une demande des titres de séjour. Ils m'avaient déjà envoyé les réponses pour dire, bon, comme quoi, ils sont pas d'accord.
Mais nous, on va essayer de faire valoir vos droits et puis on va tenter de faire sortir d'ici.
Là, tu vas t'habiller autrement, comme un homme d'affaires qui va au bureau.
Vous devez toujours rester discret.
Mais au bout de combien de temps?
Au bout de 1 an.
Comment je vis, moi? Comment je fais avec le loyer? Il y a des gens qui comptent sur moi.
J'ai besoin de 10 manœuvres sur un chantier.
Son ami à moi. Oui, c'est vrai.
Tu connais la pub Coca-Cola?
Quoi?
Mais arrête de faire ça. Travaillons maintenant. C'est fini, Coca, la terminé. Retournez travailler, c'est fini.
Merci Alice pour tout ce que vous faites pour moi.
Faut garder la distance, parce qu'après, ça peut vraiment faire mal s'ils sont renvoyés.
Allez, on se casse. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Vas-y, barre-toi, là, les flics qui vont. S'il vous plaît, maintenant.
C'est pas...
Balance les pompes.
Je t'ai dit balance-moi les pompes.
Tu m'as pas dit balance-moi les pompes. Ben, fallait dire balance-moi les pompes. T'as pas dit ça.
En ce moment, j'ai l'impression que je déraille complètement.
Comme ça, mais j'ai une petite expérience dans tout ce qui déraille.
Tu bosses, tu envoies de l'argent au pays, et puis tu as tout le temps peur de te faire attraper.
Non, arrête.
J'ai peur un jour d'oublier qui je suis.
Si un jour t'oublies, t'auras qu'à crier ton prénom. Comme ça, les gens ils croiront que t'as envie de danser.
All right, Omar, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Congratulations on Samba. It's a great film.
Thank you.
What's it like for you to get to work with the creators of the Intouchables once again? Was this brought to you specifically for you to star in it? Did they write this for you?
Yes, they wrote it for me. It was they started to write the story before Intouchable, and then they decided to write Intouchable, so we did it. And after that, after all that what happened with Intouchable, they thought people will wanted to watch the next movie. So it was
The next movie with you.
the next movie. I don't know with me, but the next movie. So they wanted to talk about something special. They wanted to make a useful movie. So they went back to this story and this character.
Now you yourself are not an immigrant. Your parents were immigrants, right?
Of course, yeah.
Did you talk to them at all about their stories when you were making this film? Were their stories in your head?
I had the story in my head, but I talked with them again about that, but didn't help because it's different today. My parents came on the 60s, and it was different. In the 60s, it was easier for people to come in France because there were a lot of work for people. France needed hands to work on factories, so it was easy. As soon as you came in the country, you get paperwork. It was easy. Today it's different, so that's why it didn't help. So I had to meet people who went through that, and I learned a lot.
What did they talk about? I mean, one of the things that we see in the movie, not just work, but the paperwork that you say, it becomes a kind of bureaucratic process that you can get lost in.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of long process. You see at the beginning of the movie the long queue to get to the kind of, I don't know, la préfecture. It's kind of DMV. So it's long queue for hours and a lot of papers, but nothing worth it to be legal. And it just the fact to work on streets become an issue. So I learned all that. I learned a lot about laws, the ridiculous, stupid laws that to be legal, you have to prove that you're cheating for 10 years, for example. That's something really stupid. So I learned all things like that.
What have you found the response to be from the immigrant community, or from those that you've shown it to in France?
They were really surprised that we did a movie like that. They were really surprised how true the story is, and they were surprised that why you are doing a movie about that. It's not interesting for people, and you're wrong, because people have to know that, and they were surprised.
Well, those whose story it represents, they felt like it wasn't interesting. They're like, what are you doing talking about me? Get out of here.
Exactly. That was the reaction. Yeah.
Now, you are, as we said, your parents were immigrants, and you were the first man of African descent to win the César Award, right?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
For the Intouchables, correct?
Yeah.
Now,
Thank you.
when you decided that you wanted to become an entertainer, what was that like in your family? They're like, no way. Go back to your home and do your homeworks. Yeah. It was something crazy for them, because when my father was a manufacturer worker, and my mother was a maid. So for them, working is like labor. Clock in, clock out.
Yeah. It was something rude, and they couldn't imagine having fun working. So you want to have fun as a work? Get out of here.
Also, like, you're working all day auditioning for the work that you'll hopefully get paid for later.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
Yes, no way. Just keep studying and try to become an engineer, doctor, or lawyer. It was crazy for them. So they really thought I lose my mind.
Well, a lot of actors do.
Yeah, true.
When did you find that they got it and that they knew there was no stopping you?
Maybe the night when I won the César.
That was finally.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you can make a go of this. Yeah.
It took 10 years. But maybe that night, because for them it was kind of graduation. So because they wanted me to graduate and I didn't, and maybe the César helped. Yeah.
No, you started in comedy for the most part, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that a lot of the movies that you've made, the movies that you've gotten pretty famous for, The Intouchables, and even with something like Samba, are closer to dramas. Some would say dramedy, but they're mostly dramas. Was it intentional on your part to sort of move away from comedy a little bit?
No, it's just the opportunity to. It's just stories. I don't look movies as a genre. For me, a movie, it's about what story you will tell, what character you will play, and the director. So for me, a movie, it's a movie. For me, it's the more important things. For me, it's what are you talking about, and for me, the comedy, you can put comedy in any genre, because and the comedy is the way for me to express. And there is some comedy in Samba, there is some comedy in Intouchables, so it's not far from comedy.
Now, why was comedy, you think, the first place that you went to?
I think because I'm funny.
I wasn't assuming you were.
I don't know. Maybe because it's more natural for me, and I grew up like that, and that was my weapon. So that was my way to express. So maybe that's.
How was comedy your weapon growing up? Where did you find you using it?
Because I grew up in suburbs of Paris, so it's far from Paris. So when you grew up in that area, and I used to go to school far from my neighborhood, because I was a good student. So when you come there, they see you coming for that area. You are tall black guy. They can be scared. So it was easier to be invited to the parties to show your teeth like that with a smile and with some jokes. And I think with the jokes you can break the ice. And it's a short way between two people. You know, when you have jokes and you can be funny, and when you can have sense of humor, when you can connect with people easier. It was like that for me.
Was your family pretty lighthearted growing up as well? Were they funny?
My parents are really, really funny, but they don't know.
Talk about working with Charlotte Gainsbourg in this. I mean, she's amazing. I've known her for the past few years for her work in like Lars von Trier's films, which are very intense. And in this, she does get to lighten up a little bit, but she plays a tense woman. What was it like doing some of those scenes with her?
It was really, really good. I learned a lot because she's an amazing actress. She has a lot of experience, and she is a big star for me. She was really young, so I used to grow up with her movies. She's a movie star for me, so I was impressed. But we find a way to work together, and it's always easier when you have a good partner. You just have to react. So it was really good for me.
Did you use your humor weapon when you first met her because you were intimidated by her?
Of course.
Did it work on her?
Yes.
There's a phenomenal scene in the film where, you know, I think there's a moment of it in the trailer where you are in the office and you start getting very upset with her, and she responds by getting even more upset with you, and it's. You know, it's a really tense, really great moment, and I'm wondering what it's like to share a scene with her doing something like that. It seems like she's the type of person that would bring even more out of you as an actor.
Yeah, of course. That's why it was more easy for me to have a partner like that, and she's amazing because she's so calm, so quiet, and when she started to yell, it was so amazing. She's really good. It's really good, yeah.
She give you a scare?
A little bit.
I mean, speaking of movie stars, you know, you're having a pretty incredible summer right now. You were also in a movie with dinosaurs this summer. You were in Jurassic World.
Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you. You are very nice.
We just had somebody else on this stage, Judy Greer, who's in Jurassic World as well. And, you know, talking to her about it, she has just said it's unbelievable. You are now in one of the highest grossing movies of all time. What does that feel like?
I don't know. It's just, it's just crazy. Just for me, coming where I come from, being in Jurassic Park, Jurassic World is just already something crazy, and then the scores are are big, and so really I don't know. The feeling's good for sure. I feel really good, but I don't know how to explain. I'm just living a dream. I'm really happy.
So, did you grow up on Jurassic Park? Did you watch the movies when you were younger?
Yeah, of course.
So when you get to the set to shoot Jurassic World, does it feel like you're in Jurassic Park, or are you just kind of in front of a green screen and hoping that it ends up looking like Jurassic Park later?
No. You know it. You feel it, and you're happy. I try to have a lot of fun as possible. I try to do my best, and I was really, really concerned how lucky I am. I knew it, and we all knew it because it's Jurassic World and Spielberg. So, and I was with Chris Pratt, the director, Colin Trevorrow. We all knew what's going on. So we had a lot of fun, and we did our best. You know where you are. And it was a really good feeling.
Did you get to meet Spielberg?
No.
Oh man.
No.
No?
No.
Were you
No.
clearly you're a little bummed out
No,
about that.
no.
What was it like working with Chris Pratt?
Really good. He's a funny guy. Yeah, really.
Did you feel competitive with him? Or you're like,
No.
I'm funnier.
I was the audience. I was the audience. He's really, really funny. We had a good time, and I never stopped to laugh. He's a funny guy, good guy, and a hard worker, and he deserves everything. He's a hard worker and good guy, and a really funny guy.
Now you're probably one of the biggest stars in France right now, whether you want to admit it or not. Does that make you once you hit does that make you want to break into Hollywood? Or are you trying to get into movies like Jurassic World, or are you finding that they're coming to you a little bit?
They came actually. They came because the director Colin Trevorrow, his wife is French, so he knows me. He knows my work. So I think they wanted it's Jurassic World. So they wanted an international cast, and he knew my work. So he came and asked me to act on the movie. But he came.
Did you have to audition?
No.
Lucky you. Look at that. So a movie like Samba, it's so particularly French because it takes place in France and it's about the immigrant experience for in France. But it's universal at this point in terms of the Western world. It's the immigrant experience in the U.S. in many ways. Hunting for work, trying to get through the paperwork, trying to get through the process. Do you feel like you've sort of told a universal story or the universal story for the immigrant with this film?
Yes, of course, that's the feeling, and that's why I'm so happy and proud to have the release in US because yes, I believe it's a universal story because it's a universal issue. There is immigrant all over the world, and a lot of people live that. So we have to think differently about that, and we have to learn about that because with this kind of issues, we think we know, but we don't. So it's really useful to have a movie like that because you can learn and maybe you can see things in a different way.
Now, I think in the U.S. as well as in parts of Europe, including France, there's a sort of rising far-right and anti-immigrant sentiment here in certain pockets. Do you hope that a movie like this helps to share the story of an immigrant, share a sensitive story, a sensitive portrait, and sort of maybe pushes away some of that rising anti-immigrant sentiment?
Exactly. That's exactly that. That's why the movie, it's a name. Because when we talk about immigration, we talk about category of population or numbers, but there's people, names, story. Samba, it's a universal, issue, the immigration. But Samba is Samba. He has his own story. He's one man. Try to make a better life for him and for his family, and it's him. And there's all they all have their own stories, so that's why we have to think about that when we talk about immigration. When we try to find a solution, we have to think about people and the individual, and not number or group of person. We can't do that.
No one immigrates because they don't want something or because life is great for them somewhere else. You move because you have to move.
Exactly.
You have to find something.
Exactly. And it's true since the beginning of humanity. The humanity used to move for survival. At the beginning it was for hunting, or to find more water. It's for survival. We have to think about that.
I mean, being the first man of African heritage to win the César Award, I mean, what does it feel like to see a certain rising tide of anti-immigration fervor in places like France and across Europe?
That's why we do those kind of movies, because you think you have to do something. You have to help to find the solution. I don't have it, but I just think
Hopefully you can
hopefully
share.
will be changed, but I don't think. I just think we have to just think differently. I think the way we try to solve that today is the wrong way.
Absolutely. I think we have some time for questions. Do we have some questions out here in the audience right now? Anybody got some questions? Right over here. We got a few. Let's get the mic passed to someone back there.
Oh, okay. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour.
Et bienvenue à New York.
Eh ben, c'est très gentil, merci.
I have two questions.
Okay.
Are you
Oh,
a-
thank God. I thought that was all going to be in French.
Two questions for you. Are you able to walk down the street in New York without being recognized?
Yes.
And do you like that?
Yes.
Okay, that's that.
Are you able to do that in France?
No, not like that.
And I understand your parents were immigrants and they worked as a maid and a factory worker.
Yeah.
Now that you're very successful, how has their lives changed? Did you buy them a big house and a big car, or what happened?
No, not a big house, not a big car, but they have a car. Thank God they have a house. But they retired now, and I think they have of course, a better life. And just the fact that they could raise their kid. We all adults now growing up, and they can be proud of us, I think. And it's more relaxed, and they have less issues now. They relax. Thank you for asking.
Next question.
Salut.
Salut.
Trying to piggyback off that. I'm curious about how you spend time in between takes when you're making a film, and if it differs for a film like Jurassic World, which is probably a lot more playful than a really high-octane, intense, and dramatic film like Samba.
You know what? I need more focus on Jurassic than Samba because of the language. When it's English set, I have to focus more because I have to focus on my line, of my accent, everything. So there is more stress on English set because of the language. But usually in the movie, more it's dramatic like Samba. More I have to be relaxed between takes. I like making jokes, singing loud, and yelling. Sometimes just having fun between takes because it's so intense, so hard. You have some scenes in. For example, when for the trash on the trash, factory. I don't know how you call that, déchetterie. The trash thing, it's really, really tough. So when you're there between takes, you have to going back to your life because it's so hard. So that's how humor is a weapon. It make me feel better when I make jokes. So between takes, I have to do that.
Comment tu vas, Omar?
Ça va bien et toi?
Bien, merci toi.
Il n'y a que des Français, all French. Okay.
Yeah, I'm French and I come from Senegal.
Oh, a cousin. Come on, my man. Come on. Oh.
So I'm very proud to meet you in New York because I am in New York until September.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know if it was easy to you to find a place about your work in New York, because I know in France it's already you have already your place, your famous place, like actor. I want to know it's more easy to find your place in New York.
You mean in US? it's I don't know. It's for me it's going faster because when I started in France, I was unknown and I had to work a lot and I had to do a lot of things before to have works, a lot of casting, a lot of stage. I did a lot of stage, but here I came in US with Intouchables and the César, so it was people already knew me as an actor. At the beginning, it wasn't like that in France. So I think here it's going faster because of that. And the only thing slowing me it's their English.
It's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Sure,
yeah.
really?
I think it's great.
No,
yeah.
Thank you.
Right here.
Hi, Omar. My husband is from Nantes, France, and he enjoys your work in SAV and Intouchables.
Oh, thank you.
And so now that you've done blockbuster films in America and France, do you have any other films in the works? And also, I'm curious to see if you would ever want to live in the United States.
The first, the other movies, I have one movie coming out in October, directed by John Wells, with Bradley Cooper, Sienna Miller, Matt Thurman. Is about cooking. The movie is called Adam Jones. And I have another French movie about the first black cloud in France. The movie is called Chocolat. The release it's in February. That's the next. And I just finished a movie directed by Ron Howard, Inferno with Tom Hanks, and that's it. And I live in US. I live in Los Angeles for 3 years now.
So you go back to France to shoot a movie like Samba.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you just finished a movie with Ron Howard and Tom Hanks and Bradley Cooper, and another movie with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it like working with Bradley Cooper?
Really good. good one.
Well, he's got a big sense of humor as well. Did you guys find that you were joking around a lot on set?
Yeah, of course. And he's fluent in French.
Oh, is
he? Yeah. He has a good French, and he's an amazing actor. And I'm sure he will be an amazing director because you can see he has that on him. It was really good to have him as a partner. We had a good time in London. We shot in London. We had a good time. I think we have a good movie.
And what about Hanks and Ron Howard?
They're just...
That's a dream right there.
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, I told you I'm living a dream. It's just here. The two. I don't know how to say that in English, but in French we say c'est des monsieur. It's Mister. It's the. I never took the dramatic school and. Being in that set was kind of masterclass. I was like that. You were asking how I was before takes in Inferno, like that. It's just amazing.
Did you were you able to keep it cool when you met Tom Hanks?
I tried. I don't know if it works.
What about when you met a velociraptor? Were you able to keep it cool?
I was cooler.
Yeah, they get angry if you don't. Right here?
We have time for one more question.
Great.
My first introduction with you was actually The Intouchables, and I actually cried during that movie.
Oh.
It was very touching. What was the experience like shooting that film during takes? You just mentioned that you were kind of shell-shocked. How was that experience?
It was it's a wonderful memory because it was my first lead role with Eric and Olivier, amazing directors, but also my friends. And we had a wonderful time with that. My partner, François Cluzet, the best actor in the world. It's really an amazing actor, very warm, very welcoming. He helped me a lot on this movie because he trusted me. It was something big for me as as a rookie. I don't know how I can say that, as a beginner, to have that type of actor trusting me was something big. Helped me a lot, give me a lot of freedom, and it was a wonderful time. Just I had a movie on my, I was the lead role, so I was so happy, so free, so light. It was a really good time. And the Maserati.
Well, guys, that's about all the time that we have. Go see Samba. It's a great film. And Omar, thank you so much for coming out. Guys, thank you for coming here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you.